Welcome to another Fireside talk. This time with Adam, and we're going to talk about maintaining a work-life balance. So, how do you maintain a work-life balance?
It's quite a broad question off the bat, that one. I think, I think maintaining a work-life balance, I think, is all about setting your own boundaries with your employer and with work. I think particularly since working from home has increased, I think we've seen that sort of creep into personal lives even more so than it was years ago. There was stories in recently in the news and the media about the expectation of using things like personal devices like your own phone for like authenticator apps for software for work. So it's that sort of creep into your personal life. But I think maintaining strong boundaries, so trying to avoid that sort of I wouldn't even say willingness, I'd say that perhaps natural instinct in some people to like please who you work for, and really staying late and being overly present, because in the workplace there are two things that sometimes employers look for to try and spot if there's issues with employees, and one of those is absenteeism, which is where you're consistently sort of phoning in sick and being absent. And then there's also presenteeism as well, which is about you're always there. You're there more so either side of your working hours. You may be going in of a weekend and things like that when you shouldn't be, when it's over your hours. So I think maintaining a healthy level of mental health, I think, is important for a work-life balance.
Yeah, I've never struggled in the past with a work-life balance. I've always been pretty abrupt about once my working day's done, my working day's done. I find it a little bit more difficult actually in this job because I've got more free reign to manage my own time.
Yeah.
So things crop up at different times of the day or at weekends and things like that where I feel like I need to jump on and do it. So I've probably let my boundaries slip a little bit actually doing this job, but then at the same time I enjoy doing it. So it's a tricky one, isn't it? And because you're doing it all the time and it's sort of part of your day-to-day routine anyway. It's harder to put those boundaries in place for me. But it's become harder anyway. It's something I'm definitely do need to look at a bit, especially now doing like social media things and stuff, because I can be guilty of then sitting there and like doom scrolling through Facebook and things because I've gone on there to do something for work and then I end up 40 minutes later going, I came on here to do a 30-second job and I'm still sat looking at my phone. So yeah, I can get that whole personal work device, how I can creep in, because I've experienced that now, I think, a little bit. But in the main, I think I've always been pretty good at keeping those boundaries in place.
Yeah, I think it's that. There's another phrase as well. Like I said with absenteeism and presenteeism, but it's like the right to switch off as well. You need to give yourself the right to switch off, and it's a term now that governments around the world they're starting to recognise. I think it's France. Don't hold me. It might be another country. I'm sure it's France, where I think they're discussing at the moment the right to switch off. So where employers can't contact you out of hours or can't expect you to respond if it isn't part of your normal job role and responsibilities. And yeah, I know that differs. So depending on what sector you work in, if you work in the retail sector, or anywhere sort of high street, typically when your shift's done at 5, 6, 8, whatever, you're done. You clock out, you go home. Whereas other sectors are a bit different. And it's all about managing that. I think I've got friends who are like on-call engineers, and it's like so chaotic their life. And at the drop of a hat on like a Saturday, they might have to cancel a family arrangement and drive to like Birmingham or like Edinburgh to go and fix something. And granted they get paid for that, but it's that it's trying to find that balance between what's healthy and working for you in your life and what isn't, and what's starting to affect you.
I think for me then making plans from a days off's important. If I don't make plans, I get dragged into doing stuff that I don't need to do. If I'm sat at home and I've no plan to go out and do something, then I might pick up my emails or start doing something online and things where I don't, because I'm just trying to fill the time. Yeah. If I have, especially if it's a weekend when I haven't got the kids and stuff like that. So, yeah, plans are important.
Yeah, definitely. No, I'm the same. Yeah, no, I'm the same. We like to sort of know what we're doing when we're doing it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm relatively organised to a degree, so you know, I like to have things set out. I like to know where I am. You know, on a Monday, I know what's happening between Monday and Sunday. And you know, I mean, granted, I sort of get a bit anxious if there's a massive curveball thrown in and it screws the week up. But you know, it's I think it's down. I think it's down to your employers as well with work. You know, I mean, obviously, to be blunt, some employers are more receptive to a positive work-life balance than others. You know, I've seen those who work for like small family businesses. It's a bit more difficult to maintain because you know they're small. They've got a lot of staff. They rely really heavily on the staff that they have. So you know there are challenges, but I think again maintaining those strong boundaries. You know, which I think in the developed world, I think we're quite good at. You know, we're now in a culture of calling out discrimination. You know, whether that be racism, sexism, misogyny. And I think it's important that maintaining your own work-life balance. I think we should be confident around calling instances when that isn't the case out as well.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. For me, then I suppose, you know, obviously it's a mix between working indoors and outdoors. So even like for me to switch off, I feel like sitting by a fire, but also it's quite easy to relate that to being back at work. You know, sometimes not all the time, but you know it can do. Say if I don't know if you've had a bad day or something like that, and you think, oh, I just want to sit by the fire. I'm like, well, I've already lit a fire today, or you know, there's little things there where it's hard to sort of switch off. So I suppose finding new hobbies is a good one, or trying new things. Something that is absolutely not in my skill set really whatsoever. I find it a real challenge to go out and try and do something new. But it just helps, I think, doesn't it? I went to a gig on my own the other day, which was weird, but I did it and I enjoyed it. Just pushed myself out of my comfort zone to give myself some of my own time back, basically.
Well, that's it. You know, I think it's all about dedicating time to you, and yeah, you know, spending time with your loved ones is crucial. But I think it's important to make time for yourself as well. And you know, certainly that was one of the drivers for me around doing the Everyman program was I wanted that sort of break from the norm. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, family life and life in general is hectic, expensive, busy. You know, all of those things that just make it stressful. And I think one of the drivers for me was that I just wanted to get out of that. You know, going to work, coming home, eating tea, going to bed, waking up, going to work, coming home, eating tea, going to bed, and it was like Groundhog Day every day. You know, and because I was in that sort of routine, I did find myself sometimes, you know, working till later at night and doing perhaps more than I should be doing. So yeah, I think it's important to set those boundaries, like you say, make time for yourself, and trying new things can be a great way to do that.
You know, relating back to the Everyman, so that was very similar to me. To be fair, I was stuck in I had some bad habits and stuck in a bad routine. So having that couple of weeks for a period of time to look forward to on a Wednesday afternoon made a massive difference. And then obviously afterwards, then going to other sessions and carrying on those skills. You know, it's just a couple of hours a week, but it made a big difference. Right? And to end, what would be your one overarching top tip for maintaining a nice work-life balance?
Be strict with your boundaries. Yeah, definitely. You know, don't be afraid. Be brave. You know, if someone's asking too much of you and it's starting to creep in, be brave and say no. That's that's my personal time. And yeah, set those boundaries. Absolutely.
Yeah, for me it'd be make some plans. Yeah, set time for yourself as well. Right, awesome. Nice one.
No
Thank
worries.
you very much.